We're
We
live.
live. Hey, tell your mama and tell your daddy and your grandma and them they live too. You feel me? And while you here, go on like, share, and comment. You feel me? You gonna share it too. You feel me? I mean, don't subscribe as well. Don't subscribe to Chop Up Show. You don't subscribe to the Countess League. You know what I'm saying? That more you got it. You feel me?
Yeah, we in here. We in here. We giving it time. I'm sharing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my due diligence. I'm getting it shared. As we give y'all time to get on in here. As we give y'all time to get in here.
Hey, into when you get a chance, add some descriptions to this episode 87.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right now, just
All right,
so
so you're back. Yeah, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Because like I'm on the touch screen right now, and
what up,
the
Dr.
way that
Dancy?
Dr. Dancy in the building, the way that I'm situated, I don't want to do too much moving of my computer because I got some pretty old cores that I'm working with. You feel me? Look, I'm seeing all the 2 year, you know what I'm saying, old chop up videos and shit, and so this computer or this mic and these cores been with me for a minute. It's about time for that upgrade. I do got some new headphones though.
I see you with the new earphones.
Yeah, I got them from no bush. I got them from my mama. She paid like $300 for them, and then she was like, "I don't even use them." I was like, "I use them." Shout out to
That's
mom.
the Well, that's them truckers. That's them trucker earphones, some
Yeah,
CDLs. That's them, you know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
run the 18 wheel all day, or the rig with the
uh,
part depending on what part you from.
yeah. We give it time for y'all to come on in here, man. Like we said, Dr. Dancy is in the building. Love it when some of our favorite intellectuals show up.
Hey, into Dr.
Uh,
Dancy. Hey, I'm be reaching out to you. I had one of my followers reach out to me. They have a child that's trying to get into a pit, and they got like they got lupus. You feel me? They got high GPA and all that. I'm reaching out to you though. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get up in it. They got like a 3.8 GPA or something like that. But yeah, I'm reaching out to you, Dr. Dancy.
yeah. But we do got an interesting conversation ahead of us. Two of the that we're gonna talk about the heavyweight albums that dropped, which is unique because y'all, if y'all know anything about the chop up, y'all know how we feel about Kanye West. At least y'all know how I feel about Kanye West. Uh, so we're gonna
Hey, I'm
get into
sure
that.
if they watch us, they know how we feel about Kanye West. They
We're gonna
know.
get into that. Also, we're gonna talk politics for a little bit. Something brief. It's just been just the man. Y'all, Trump really had y'all energized, man. I miss the political conversation with Donald Trump was the center of it. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that because it's an extreme difference. It's an extreme difference. We do got a theory of beauty in the building, and then y'all go ahead and save y'all questions because as we get to the end of the show, we are doing the ask the chop up tonight. So if it's some questions about things that's going on that we have not discussed that y'all would like for us to, what I'm saying, touch on, get our perspective on all of that, ask the chop up. We'll give y'all that opportunity to do so.
Definitely. If you in here, go ahead and say what's up in the comments real quick. Yeah. If there's a beauty on your ass right now. That was
She said,
rude.
Damo, you got to get you a wig.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I see you got the hat
Nah,
on today, goddamn.
See, I can't grow a beard. George does not seem to be able to muster
right.
whatever he said. So
But look,
we got
I'm still trying to find a barber though. So like my beard ain't even like cleaned up the way that. And look, and what pissed me off, I'm thinking I'm about to get a haircut today. It's Tuesday. Barbershops usually closed on Mondays anyway. I'm thinking like, all right, it's Tuesday. Nah, niggas is like, and we taking off Tuesday because
yeah, y'all
y'all
got
got Labor Day. You feel me?
yeah.
So shout out to Jennifer in the building.
Yeah.
Noel is in the building as well. So yeah, man. So shout out to all the barbers that take off on Tuesday because they off on Labor Day anyway, man. Shout out to y'all. You
They
know what I
deserve
mean?
they work hard for y'all. They deserve a minute. Hey, we
Look,
definitely pop back in here. What's up?
I was gonna say y'all eventually y'all gonna see me on the chop up with a haircut, man. Eventually, I got
You
this
got
Cleveland Brown
top up.
mustache.
It ain't this week though, goddamn.
You got to be on the chopped up. We took Labor Day off. We went ahead and took the holiday yesterday too. So shout out to
Right.
people who took the day. Hopefully everybody got a chance to relax a little bit. We know that's not a privilege even afforded to everybody on Labor Day, but hopefully you got a little bit of time into yourself. Kind of vibe, reflect, do something that was just you focused and you oriented. We gonna get started in a minute. Literally about
Yeah,
15.
we'll give it a few seconds for a few more people to come on in before we get it cracking. Like we said, make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel. All right, we're gonna have a quick pre-talk though before we even start the show. Van said Damo gotta get the lace front lights.
Yeah.
You are live, Vance. You are live, bro. It's not happening.
You gotta get them.
It's not
AI.
happening.
You gotta get them ones Makai Pfeiffer had. You
That's
gotta
a
go ahead.
wig, first of all.
I
I
mean,
would not be getting the millennial toupee. You hear me?
Listen,
You feel me? I'm not doing it.
I
You
respect.
know what I
it.
mean?
Understand you got options.
I-
You know.
Hey, you know, hey, we got a chop. I'm gonna have to find that. I'm gonna have to find that chop up where we discuss this. You feel me? It was probably about 2 years ago. We had a whole chop where dude had waves and everything. You know what I'm saying? And none of it was real. You feel me? He had the whole Sherman
Yeah.
Helmsley, and then they
Yeah.
went on ahead and glued the
They
waves
hooked
on
them up.
top.
They
You
hooked
feel
them
me?
up. They hooked them up.
We may have to revisit that conversation. Y'all fucking with
It's
me.
a
We
no
may
for
have to
me.
revisit.
It's
What's
a
You know what
up
I'm
to
saying?
Ty here? What's up to Ty? I'm assuming Ty Black, as well as Baby Oku up in the building from the dorm room, reporting live from where the book is
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
So why do you
Zamorian
have-
Sherman.
Yeah.
Yeah, we here. You know, we took Labor Day off just like everybody else. You know. But since y'all didn't came in and
barbecue too.
she said gonna be out here like Jermaine Jackson. Stop. Yo, with that being said, you feel me?
Yeah.
We gonna go ahead and get the show started. I'm gonna start the show the way that we always start the show. I mean, I will be bringing it in this evening. Let's get it.
Me, my guys, we really live. Lord, forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside. And that's in the console. Keep the semi when I ride. Lit off Henny when I drive. In the city, we gon' slide. Bet I be there pronto.
Hey, we here. We back.
Yeah.
I would say it's Monday, but it's not. It's Tuesday. Yesterday was a holiday. And this is the Chop Up. I am Damo, the political plug, looking kind of rusty. No, I did not get off of being stranded on an island by myself for a year.
Mhm.
I'm just looking like this right now because I moved and black men finding black barbershops that fit comfortably. You feel me? It is a very serious job. And it's not something to be taken lightly. Now, these better groomed individuals, these long locked individuals that I'm here with, we're gonna go ahead and start with the first one.
Hello, my name is Toya G. It's great to be with you this particular evening with the homies with the gang. Another Tuesday, another week with y'all. Hopefully, you got a chance to relax and chill a little bit. My question was asked, Damo, was that you in the intro? That is not. That is the homie Ben Kenobi. Definitely go check out the music all over every platform you could think of: SoundCloud, Apple Music, whatever, wherever you.
Spotify for sure.
Spotify, all of that. I said SoundCloud. I meant to say Spotify. But go find Ben Kenobi. Kenobi spelled like no, so Knobe, right? Ben Kenobi though. But go check him out. Got heat, got videos, got the visuals, got everything. I'm a really big fan, so go check him out. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm with somebody else. Who else we with?
Hey man, just a friendly reminder to stay sucker free in the land of lollipops. It's George Lee, aka Conscious Lee. Don't forget to leave GeorgeLeeSpeaks.com. Hey, tomorrow we got Conscious Conversations, man. Anybody looking to get lined up or you need some advice or you got a Q&A, pull up on me 9:30 p.m. Central. You know what I'm saying? My YouTube channel, you feel me? Hey, today we got a cool conversation for y'all, man. We got Lil Nas X coming out as pregnant, you feel me? We got Certified Lover Boy versus Donda. Hey, did black folks miss opportunity with Trump? Hey, stay tuned, man. Stay tuned.
Now, again, if y'all did not miss it, George talking about if you got questions and all that conscious conversation, bring this dude to smoke. You feel me? Pull up. The link will get dropped in the chat. If you got smoke with Conscious Lee, if you're trying to press that button, y'all stop acting like y'all scared of him. He not that good, bro. Like he cool. You feel me? But you ain't got to be scared of him. You know what I mean? Hit the link, pull up on him, Ask him some questions.
Hey, and
You know what
don't
I'm saying?
forget tonight too. We got Ask the Chop Up as well. So if you looking, if you feel me, especially the people that always be in the comment section, we definitely appreciate all the love and support to all y'all that pull up every Monday or whatever day whatever night we decide to. You feel me? Go live, man. We appreciate y'all. If y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, y'all want to run our way, make sure you stay locked in too. You know, and my voice, you feel me, you can tell it's a little gone. So you know.
Yeah.
And we got some new names and some old names in here. Trevor, what's good with you? Zay, happy you popped in here, baby. Oh, cool. We already said what's up, but you shout out the white name, so I automatically saw that.
Yeah.
Vance, appreciate the love. You know what I'm saying? I had to go ahead and share some motivation with the people. Danielle, let me see. Hey, I think I got everybody, but I definitely want to make sure we show love to the new people in here, at least the names that I haven't seen recently or seen in a minute. Shout out to y'all for popping in. We can go ahead and jump into the Snapchat.
Yeah, let's get into the Snapchat G Lee.
Oh man, so we know that going by how I want to set this up is y'all remember when Kanye West had challenged 50 Cent? You feel me? And Kanye West had, you know what I'm saying, brought the cake home. I think it was the Graduation album.
It was Graduation versus was it Massacre? Yeah. Graduation versus the Massacre,
yeah. Graduation won by far. Well, we know Kanye West strategically tried to set up his business move in terms of getting some streams and trying to match up with somebody. And, Donda, his album, got allegedly leaked, how he said it, you feel me, without his permission a couple days before the Certified Lover Boy drop. Certified Lover Boy was the album dropped by Drake. I know there's been a lot of controversial I think things surrounding both of these artists, whether we're talking about Kanye West and his political views, or we're talking about Drake and, you feel me, his allegations with him grooming young girls. You feel what I'm saying? My question to y'all though is, you feel me? Did you listen to these albums? You feel me? If you did, which one you thought was better and why?
I will answer that.
Go ahead, Toya.
All right, go ahead. Okay, I'll go ahead and go first simply by saying I watched the Kanye first show, so I didn't listen to the album because off the little first show that he did at the stadium or whatever, I was like, I'm good. It's not my jam. It's not going to be my cup of tea. So I didn't listen to anything after that. And I did listen to Certified Lover Boy. Now you preface this by talking about criticisms, allegations, the problematic parts of it, and those are the things that I have not necessarily resolved because in a lot of ways I'm like, I'm a product of the moment. I'm a product of my generation, right? We're talking about people when we talk about generationally who shaped and formed a lot of our formative years, high school, on the college and even some adulthood. We're talking about these two. So it's always that conflictual relationship of why I even care at all. Because I definitely have written off Kanye, and if I think too long about Drake, I start getting grossed out by him too. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of conflict there. So it's real. I also want to make sure I say what's up to Quay and Cal and Jeremy that popped in here saying what's up. But that's kind of how I feel about the situation.
Yeah, I mean, so I've kind of listened to both of them. I'm not a hype. Like when new music drop, like I don't have to be like the first nigga that I gotta hear it so I can. I mean, I actually more so when new music drop, I got people that I call that I trust their music opinion, and I ask them what they think about it. Shout out to the homie She, you feel me? Him and I had a pretty interesting conversation. My boy Ben Kenobi, we talked. Nick Brooks, we talked about a few things. Oddly enough, I got completely opposite reactions for both of them. You feel me? Because that's the way I framed it. When Certified Lover Boy dropped, I'm asking like, which one better, y'all? You feel me? Which one better? And so, one person told me one thing, and another person told me the other thing. With Drake, just off of my first, just listening to it while other people was listening to it, it's Drake. Like I feel like he didn't reach like the Jay-Z level to where I ain't really nowhere else to go from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, your best is what your best is, and when you give it to us, we love it. You're gonna try out some other few things that people like, right? You're gonna get the people Drake. And I think as long as he get the people Drake, the people gonna be satisfied. With Kanye, I'm not gonna lie. There's an embargo in my house on Kanye West. That nigga does not get played. That nigga does not get played. But when I'm in other people's shit, I can't control, what they do in they shit. So like with my nigga, he felt that Donda was a better album, so we was listening to some tracks off of it. And I'm gonna keep it a stack. Kanye music is unintelligible to me. Like it literally it sounds like Kanye's music sounds like gibberish. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
That's the thing though. Like people when they pick Kanye versus Drake, and I didn't mean to interject in it, but I think this is important to point out that a lot of people in time breaking who's better, who's worse, people are agreeing with you that Drake is doing the Drake shtick, that Drake is doing what Drake does, and so that's boring and old and tired at this point. It doesn't demonstrate maturation of the craft. And Kanye's gibberish is artistry, right? People are giving it that value and that credibility and saying at least he's elevating and growing and changing and it's reflective of what he is and where he is. And that's what I mean. I can't get into it personally myself. You know what I'm saying? And I regret not listening to King's Disease. Like, keep in mind, I don't listen to a lot of new music. So I was really
Hey, what's King's Disease? Who's King's Disease? Who is that?
That's Nas. That's Nas.
That's what I'm getting at now. I regret not listening to King's Disease to have it to compare it to, because a lot of people saying that it's better than both of them in the comments. But I don't listen to a lot of new music. I literally was a victim of the time, a victim of the culture in terms of being captivated by these two people and listening to these albums to try to do some type of comparative analysis. But I should have just definitely known Nas. And like Ethereal Beauty said, Kendrick's supposed to be dropping. And people are saying on Twitter that if Kendrick drop an album now, based on how shitty both of those albums were, CLB and Donda, that it's automatically de facto gonna be the best album of the year because they feel like both of them were just like that underwhelming. So it's gonna be interesting to see how all of that play out in comparison.
With some mids. Hey man, well I say in conclusion to wrap up this little snapshot, but that's what this was, man. You know, I checked out the albums. I tried to check out Donda. I tried, you feel me? I feel like Kanye just lost me a long time ago before he even started being on his political trippery. You feel me? I listened to like 2 tracks of Donda and came to the conclusion that sonically it just wasn't for my ears. You feel me? Certified Lover Boy.
Sound like gibberish, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's how it sound like gibberish, and it sound like just a amalgamation of like gospel vibes and themes mixed in with a little bit of dark twisted fantasy. And it was just like, I see you trying to go clean. I trying to go cussing, had profanity on the album. It was cool, but it ain't for me. You feel me? It ain't for me. Kanye West ain't making music for me for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Drake was cool. You know, he called himself a lesbian and point and feel me doing some shit. You know what I mean? It was whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Now hold on, real quick.
No, wait, no.
I'm bringing it in. It's me. No. I gotta do it.
No, that's my question.
Trust me, Toya. Trust me, Jennifer. Tonight we got asked to chop up. So we gonna put a pin in this question here, right? We gonna, because I want this to be the first question and ask the chop up. Okay, so you want to put that out there. Any questions that y'all got as this conversation, you know what I'm saying, goes on, as we get into the next conversation, remember, ask the chop up tonight. You know what I'm saying? We can clown the cover and all of that. Yeah. Let me do my job. Let me do my job.
Hey, a lot just happened right there. You feel me? Y'all be on the lookout for all the new music coming out. If you haven't had a chance to check out the albums, you feel me? I guess encourage you to check out the albums if you would like to. If you feel like that those albums was bullshit and you got some more alternatives to kind of, you know, shit, you feel me? Consider for us to consider going on and send it to the Chop Up Show. You feel me? The email. We looking for new music to share. If you got a homeboy or your homegirl or just a non-conforming artist, you know, you feel me? Whether it be a singer or a rapper or a poet, you feel me? Go send it over to our email. You know what I'm saying? We're looking to give some new artists, share our platform in terms of giving artists, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of exposure in terms of sharing their art. You feel me? Got the next shop
though. That's me. So with the Snapchat getting done with, again, anything else y'all want to get into about them individuals, we can get into that in the Ask the Chop Up. But I know y'all missed it, man. It's about time we got back on it. I am the political plug, and this is the political chop. Okay, I got a very crucial question. Now, Biden been president. And as somebody who's, you know what I'm saying, I like to keep my ear to the ground, be in the political conversations. Really, it's been a bore. It's just been a snooze fest. Okay. We've discussed previously how politics under Donald Trump was lit. Like there was an energy, there was a vibe. You feel me? You know, it was about social justice. It was about standing for things, regardless of what side of the aisle you was on. You know, we there was a consensus of doing away with the norm and not letting things go back to normal. And you know, we didn't vote in 2016 because why? But you know, Hillary Clinton was just the same old, same old. It was cracking. Right. Accountability was on everybody's mind. Right.
Period.
Joe Biden became president, and all that shit went out the window. Like, you feel me? It's certain issues like still kids still being in cages, right? It's certain regulation and shit that hasn't been reinstalled. It's certain things that Trump did that once Biden became president weren't reversed, but it was just like, well, Biden's president now, so you know, not that big of a deal. The thing that I want to ask y'all though is, given that energy, right? On the other side of that, you had that energy with the voters. On the other side of that, you had politicians that was at each other's neck. If you was heavily involved, I don't know why I'm reading the back the back chat. I ain't gonna put that. I ain't gonna put this business out there. But
hey, it's coming out though. It's coming out.
Yeah. We get you a yeah, right. I got you.
Let's keep talking.
But when you look at the politicians and the people that were engaged in the Democrat versus Republican beef, that type of, you know, I call that white on white violence. And just like how they try to frame black on black violence is the reason why black communities, you know what I'm saying, are struggling and underperforming, white on white violence had the United States federal government elected one of the most inept, irresponsible, bigoted individuals to ever, not saying he's the most, but to ever grace that spot. So we seen a weakness in American politics during the Democrat versus Republican beef that took place you know, leading up to Trump and the 4 years. So my question to y'all is, with that weakness and the energy that was there, did we miss out on the opportunity as black people? Right? We had the energy of accountability. We had the energy of representation. And then after Trump was out of office, we literally settled for exactly what we didn't want in 2016. We got a male version of Hillary Clinton, which with Hillary Clinton, we at least would have had a woman. If we would have been like, all right, we'll settle with that. With Hillary Clinton, we at least would have had a woman. But we got the same white man that Obama thought he was. So do y'all think that it was a missed opportunity?
White man who gave Obama his credibility. You know what I'm saying? I think, did we miss an opportunity? Maybe. And the reason why I say maybe is that, you know, I specifically remember, and I don't remember who said it, but it was like a celebrity or something like that. That like a conscious celebrity was like, "I'm glad," and maybe it was a figure in the black community was like, "I'm glad that this happened because maybe now black people will wake up and really turn up and get, you know, into their shit." And so
that was a huge talking point.
Exactly, right. I think, but I remember hearing it from somebody specifically, and so like looking at what I feel like was a time to rise and do whatever and kind of collect and collaborate and plot and politically strategize, knowing and seeing the changing of the tide. Yeah. However, the question for me still exists the same way it always has and how it does even in this moment. And that is, what would it have looked like? Right? If I'm saying we missed an opportunity, that means that I am looking to a specific plan, a specific mechanism, a specific approach, a specific desire. Right, a collective need that we've all agreed on that we had, and said that we missed the chance to kind of capitalize on it there. I think we pressed a button with like police brutality, but Donald Trump told us 2 days into his presidency he was not worried about none of that police shit. That he was going to let the local municipalities make the decision about how they run their stuff, and so he was like, "I'm not doing that Obama thing where I stop everything, international politics, domestic politics, and talk about the police." He told us that wasn't happening, and so So that would have been our collective thing, and I don't think we got anything out of that because again, we're in a Joe Biden presidency with the more funding still going to the police and shit like that. So probably not.
I think that I don't think that we missed the opportunity because there was a lot of political consciousness and political engagement that happened in Trump's presidency, and that led to the big voter turnout in terms of the 2020 election. I think the bigger question is, did we keep that same energy from the accountability and responsibility that we kept up in 2020? And I think right now the question to answer that be like, nope. Like we ain't got the same energy in terms of being invested in the policy making process and to really what's going down on Capitol Hill and what the president, what's going down in the position of the presidency. You feel me? I don't think we missed the opportunity. I feel like both Joe Biden and Donald Trump, I feel like in terms of historically was able to incorporate a lot of things into their platform uniquely about Black people that we hadn't seen in other previous elections, especially once it got to the main two candidates in terms of the Lift Your Voice versus Lift Your Voice and Sing plan versus Platinum Plus plan. You feel me? I think that the reason why they made those plans is because Black people were so pissed off and made our voices so known and heard during that time, whether it's about the coronavirus, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, or about getting student loans cut off. You feel me? We was active. Keep the same energy.
Right. I agree with that, right? I definitely think that like and I've done this before, called niggas out for not keeping that same energy. But the reason why, I gotta push back on what you're saying, George, and I'm gonna show y'all how y'all get at him on Conscious Conversations. This is how you do it, right? So y'all see how he just said, right? The unique thing about Trump. No, I'm gonna show him how to do it. He said the unique thing about Trump was the consciousness that was birthed out of it. There was like, and he agreed in terms of the conversations about responsibility and accountability. But from that standpoint, though, the failure in that and why you could say that even from that standpoint, it was a missed opportunity is the results, right? The results. We ended up like we saw an increase in that question of accountability, right? We saw an increase in that demand for representation. We saw an increase for the demand to address the issues facing Black communities, right? But that consciousness, that energy, didn't result in getting somebody that reflected those demands or that we actually figured would meet them demands, and that's the problem. It's like what was missing that, for example, like you had people like Cory Booker and Kamala Harris. Like Kamala, we say she made history as the first Black woman. I'm not debating you niggas, not y'all, but you know how niggas on the internet be when it comes to Kamala's blackness.
Right.
but we like, okay, boom, we got the first Black woman vice president. You could have had the first Black woman president. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or we could have had another brother for president. You could have had the first Asian American president. There was ways that we could we could have had the first woman president, period. I mean, because it was a few different races of women who was running. So it's like there were ways that we could have took that energy, took that desire for change, and made it reflect in the electoral process, but it didn't. It didn't. Like we literally ended up with what we didn't want before Trump anyway. You know what I'm saying? So from that standpoint, like that's why I can't help but say it was a missed opportunity, because I know like earlier we talked about when we was framing it, we talked about, well, we'll get to that question, but I'll say that's why I would frame it as a missed opportunity, because it was great to have all of these conversations be forefronted in ways that we hadn't heard before. I just don't think that the results panned out to what we wanted it to.
Before we slide on,
or that would reflect the shit. But yeah, we can take a look at the comments.
It says the same shit people were banging on Obama for, as long as the overt hatred wasn't out in front.
Right, and that's getting stale.
And they said they don't ever talk about the trailer park white on white violence. Show them teeth. I don't have time. I think we can still get him in some way to get him to do what we need because he's gonna want to get reelected in 4 years. He just needs more fire under his ass. I don't disagree. I guess I'm just curious about what that fire looks like. Like a lot of Republicans been like, hey y'all, I've seen them, seen posts, seen tweets, seen Instagram memes that are like, nothing's changed. Y'all see y'all president, he's doing the same shit. What y'all gonna do about it? And I'm curious about what that looks like myself so that I can align myself with those movements. But I'm not sure what holding this administration accountable even looks like.
Man said Hillary super predator Clinton would have brought the energy at Biden levels now, but we needed Trump to expose white America further and activate awareness in the oppressed. Okay, I mean, and that's what I definitely, and you can't take that away, right? Like the conversations that took place, the things that were forefronted, regardless of who was president, like that did happen. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking, was there more that could have came from?
Acknowledging that it happened is the like, because to me it's like outside of what we did, what is taking respect, what is taking the opportunity. You feel me? And how you pose the question, like what does it look like?
No, yeah, I want to, and that's why I want to get into that into the second part of this. Material Beauty said, I think with any fight against oppression, there are levels of exhaustion we reach, and a lot of Black people are already past that point. A lot of social embarrassment is what pushed that activism. Oh, that's a fact. And we do, and that's one thing that I definitely want to highlight is that because I felt that, like, I was just tired. I mean, it was good that there were so many conversations, but we did get to a point where it was like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of hearing about Trump. You know what I mean? I'm tired of hearing about government being racist. Like, let me just take a break. Pinky Promise Life does have a question. She said, do you think stimmy checks actually stimulated the economy or created more unemployment?
I think that might be a question for Harrison Chopper, because that's a very relevant question. But I don't know in what way.
So we're gonna get back to that one. Yeah.
That's a deep question, especially since unemployment has ended. I want to write these questions down. We're gonna get to that and ask the Chopper.
Ty Black said, still ran back to the white man. that's how I heard him say it. Like, that's just how I heard him say it. I don't even know if he talked like that.
Shaking my head.
Now Vance, and see, this was the nigga I was talking to. He said, come on, Damo. You know damn well, Kamala, I listened to Pac and Snoop in college. Harris, 2 years before they dropped, ain't black. Come on, bro. Listen, I'm talking about, I'm speaking to uniquely the cultural
Black parent, though.
The cultural conversation, you feel me? Because we can get into them nuances, but culturally, from a mainstream perspective, there is a narrative associated with her being at that, being, influential, right? Like breaking the glass ceiling and all of that. Great questions, great conversation. Noel said if he runs for re-election, then his vice president matters deeply. He will be by far the oldest president. A VP becoming president is likely. I don't think he's running again. I mean, he getting this one out. You know what I'm saying? Like he like, man, I became president. Peace. You feel me? I'm gonna go ahead and live my days. But go ahead, Toya.
I was just gonna say, in this particular presidency, not that discourages presidents from continue to run, but like really sucks for him to be old. Like you walking on a pandemic, you are a part of ending a war that some may say ended prematurely or incorrectly. I won't even say prematurely, but definitely incorrectly.
Right.
And we not even 365 days in, dog. Like it's that man got a long haul. On top of natural disasters are about to keep coming. Like it's messy already.
I mean, let's just I don't play with death like that. So I'm praying that he make it through though, because he, old people ain't supposed to be dealing with stress like that. Like old people are supposed to be dealing like the stress of national disasters, economic decline,
running the country, international politics.
Right, y'all too old to be dealing with shit like that. But now get into the next part of the conversation, right? I think and that is George Posen pointed out something that needed to be fleshed out in terms of the nuance of this conversation, and that is, what opportunities were missed? Right? When we say opportunities, what are we talking about? To me, I'm gonna keep it. Real basic. I think more so, more black people should have been elected, right? Like there should have been more black people. You know what I'm saying? Like record numbers, like put in the office and stuff. It's record numbers of just like different type of people, right? We did have a record numbers of women after Trump, which you know that's you like great, right? Because we know what Trump what Trump reflected when it comes to women specifically. You know what I mean? During the time of Me Too. But I think that when we talk about that question of representation and accountability uniquely on these questions of racism, which was key to a lot of the political dialogue that was taking place, I think putting black people in positions of power to be able to determine and change these circumstances should have been at the forefront. And I think it was too much of a focus on getting Trump out and beating Republicans than it was empowering people like that look like us. So when I say missed opportunity, that's the opportunity I'm talking about. Now, do y'all think that's unreasonable?
I don't think it's unreasonable. I mean, I think me and you had a great opportunity. I feel like, my motto is education is elevation. On the Chop Up Show, we took a great opportunity to have a whole ass debate about the representation and the value of Kamala Harris. So when you talk about black folks need to be more, I feel like elected and represented, this the shit that me and Toya and you already go back and forth about all year in terms of really like what does it mean to have a nigga in that position. We seen Kamala Harris was a black woman in that position during the entirety of Trump's presidency and shit. It wasn't good for niggas in many different instances. So again, it's like I don't know. Go back to the question of this segment. What opportunities did we miss and what it really looked like?
The only thing I would add to what George is saying, because I mean, retweet all of that.
Because you gotta agree with George. So you gotta agree with George.
I mean, George in this instance is correct. So I want to retweet that. The only thing I would probably add to my little text at the top is you also are talking about missed opportunities in a world where the literal Voting Rights Act, things that allow people access to the opportunity to vote for anybody, let alone some niggas, are constantly being repealed and being rolled back. So when you have those types of structural limitations and barriers to political participation at the very basic level, it's hard to get people excited about participating in a political process that gets them to the polls to support and see hope and promise in black people who are running in a system without thinking them niggas is just a part of the same system that messed me up and messed me over and that's not even allowing me to do stuff like vote in the first place. The circularity is the circularity for me, So I'm not just randomly trusting George. It's just like it goes back to my original question about missed opportunities. Like kinda, but what are we missing the opportunity to do? Is the ubiquitous and esoteric question that must be resolved. What are we missing the opportunity for?
Because if we circle the block back, you feel me? It's like, hey, your biggest criticism in 2016 was the lack of voter engagement and voter representation of black folks, and saying that even if Donald Trump would have ran against, you feel me? You said Hillary Clinton would have ran against John McCain, she would have lost because it wasn't enough black people that went in, you know what I'm saying? They went and did it.
Yeah.
Black people historically went out and participated. Not only that, in terms of this, like taking the opportunity, is literally we seen Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, two black people that was able to really run and be a part of the major platform, even if it was for a little bit of time, in terms of being able to get a position of power. And even when it came to them two people, we were still critical on how them, as black people, held their position of power when they was in either New Jersey or California. So we still get back to the criticisms being Toya always poses, like, what is this representation in the system mean if we already have all these great critiques of the system now it operates? And we know it don't matter who the conductor of the train is. The train is going to run on the tracks. The tracks is white supremacy. That's me and Toya arguing there all the time.
Well, I mean, I think that ultimately, like, the problem with that logic though is that when we looking at what's happening, we settling for too little when it was much, like, we left a lot of money on the table because we got to the precipice of the consciousness shift that needed to happen, but we didn't cross that borderline though. Like, we got right there and didn't jump in the pool. You feel me? And jumping in the pool is reframing our relationship to politics. It's reframing how we understand what their job is. And to me, because it's not essentially just about electing these people, but also looking at what like the heart of Democrat versus Republican main like two-party mainstream politics, what it like what it did, what it does, and what it can produce. Bullshit, nothing, right? Reframing who we are.
Georgia blue. Like they turned Georgia blue
for Joe Biden, bro. For Joe Biden.
But go back to the question: what opportunity did we miss in terms of electing more black people? Stacey Abrams, the black woman down in the black politician in Georgia, said we need to do what we need to do right here, and we listen to the black woman. They listen to the black woman in Georgia.
But I mean, but that's what I'm saying though. They listen to the black woman, but who was empowered, right? Now. You got, for example, I give Georgia credit because they did elect Raphael Warnock, right? That was big. You feel me? But the larger conversation though, if we're talking about having the capacity to use voting as a way to completely change the paradigm, right? To really disrupt the system. Donald Trump was like the shaking it up, and it kind of busted it a little bit, right? That was their example of, or their attempt, like the conservative white nationalist attempt to buck the system, right? And so they kind of shook it up a little bit, but turning Georgia, having the capacity and the capability to turn Georgia blue, meant that it was so much more that could have been done with it, but we turned Georgia blue. That historical event, from an electoral standpoint, was used to elect the male Hillary Clinton. So it's like, yeah, we turned Georgia blue. But the idea wasn't just to turn it blue, it was to turn it black. Black, like people there looking like themselves, right? Conversations associated, because if we're talking about policing, we shouldn't be just focused on what blue mean from a national standpoint. What does blue mean in your community in terms of your district attorney? Do you still got the same motherfuckers locking niggas up? You feel me? That been locking them up in the first place, right? Because it don't matter if they blue if we still look at their record and their record is pulling the same bullshit.
Toya, right now is this like his rendition of like Switch Side Debate? Because it sounds like the great offense that he's laying down right now. It sounds like copy and paste of what George and Toya was saying all of 2020. And as a matter of fact, when we made the argument he's laying down right now, he would give us these cruelly optimistic optics that says, hey, but if niggas was more represented though, because it's like we turned it black. Motherfucker, we don't have the option of turning it black. We live in the bipartisan world of red and blue. Black is not an option, motherfucker. And the black woman said, vote for the white man.
But
and you said that was
Here's the thing. I said this is also along with the I just want to interject this because this is important, right? What did we find out when we got a black man to the very apex of our political system? We found out that he could not be the president of the niggas. He had to be everybody's president. So the further we catapult, the further we kind of collectivize and push people up the ranks, the more and more that we come and they come to the realization they cannot specialize in the shit that we want. That's the tricky part of this position, of this presidency, of wanting people in all these special and higher, like I'm not moved by that, because the higher up you get, the more you have to alienate your particular interest group. The further down you are on the chain, the more you get to be a little bit more precise and direct and move things around on behalf and behest of the people you are actually serving. But the higher up you get, the less impactful you end up being, because you can't just serve on behalf of black people or the white people who end up talking louder and harder and having more to lose, that's more put up stake. Get your ass on out of there. So it's always gonna be a catch-22. I don't buy it. It's hard for me.
But look, even with the catch-22 though, right? Because first of all, I'm not saying what y'all was saying. I only got to the point of, electing the white man because that's where we was at. You feel me? Like that's where we was at. You feel me? I'm saying though, when you in terms of the presidency, I'm saying though that when it go to the ballot, knowing that we had to elect this white man to get Trump out, that was that question alone was independent from like we voting blue. You know what I'm saying? Like because I'm saying, all right, Trump got elected because we didn't want to just vote blue. Right? That's the whole way. Like that's why he got elected. So to deal with 4 years of him and then see boom, now you know you definitely want to vote. You don't want to vote red. So we know we don't want to just vote all blue. Trump showed us that, yeah, and it's a reason why we don't vote red, right? Like those things is there. So our mindset as a people, and this ain't even just for black people. If I'm channeling, you know what I'm saying, my inner Fred Hampton, like people as a whole was looking like we don't need the same people that look like the same people occupying the same spaces. You feel me? We got to get Trump out of there. So, okay, Biden is what it is. But in terms of what we did before Trump got elected, during Trump, and how we situating ourselves after the fact, there were places where the criticism, like I said, got to the precipice, but didn't cross over, given the amount of evidence that showed us like it ain't about voting Democrat, Republican. It's about voting necessity and strategy.
But I guess then my question to you, right, is if we were so close and we were at this precipice and things were really about to change, then what to you would have pushed us over? What would have gotten us? What would have been demonstrative of us actually overcoming, right? Because we were so close to something, and I'm not sure what you're saying we were close to. Like, I guess we gained a political vocabulary and a social vocabulary and academic vocabulary for the shit that's happening. Everything's not racism anymore. Now it's anti-blackness. Now we understand about trans rights. Now, like, cool, right? And so I guess there's a collective consciousness that's happening, learning and unlearning. That should start being a part of people's vocabularies. But what was the brink? What was the overcome? Like, are you saying more black people elected would have been proof of us overcoming, or taking that collective energy and making something out of it? What is the thing? Like, that's what I'm confused about. That would have showed the changing of the tide or a changing of the tide.
So to actually bring it back full circle, we would see that, like, how we behave now would reflect that. Like, the changing of the tide would mean that when we saw business going back to business as usual, we like, nope, yeah, you in here, but like, for example, and I take this uniquely personally, right? Because on TikTok, after Biden got elected, I did a whole video where I'm like, all right, so y'all know I've been trying to get Biden elected, but now that he's president, let me say this: you racist ass mother, you know what I'm saying? So I go in on Biden, like Biden, because I feel the comfortability of okay, bet, like, he elected, so we don't gotta be like, you know, now well, you know, we don't want to keep Trump in power. Nah, he done, he lost. Now I can talk shit about Joe Biden because we all stand for accountability, right? That's what the fuck matters to us, right? So now, Joe Biden, do something about these kids in cages, Joe Biden. Why you ain't talking about student loans, Joe Biden? Why you up?
Joe Biden got a lot of shit. Joe Biden trying to send people back to jail that they got locked. They got let out of release for immune compromised. Trump said the jail need them. Biden was like, well, shit, I agree with Trump. Just send their ass back to jail then. So you feel me? If you get a chance, y'all go to Google, go on and go find a petition. I'm trying to demand that Joe Biden to give these folks clemency because he's literally trying to uphold a Trump policy. But I think it's about us keeping the same energy because we made the opportunity and niggas put their blood, sweat, and tears and bump nickels and gave out, you feel me, waters to make sure folks was able to go and vote. That's the reason why they outlawed 24-hour voting. That's the reason why they outlawed giving waters out. That's the reason why they outlawed drive-through voting. They did this throughout the country down there, you feel me? Because niggas took opportunities. The question is, to me, is keeping the energy. You feel me? It's like we seen Warnock get energy. We seen Warnock get elected. We also seen a whole bunch of different black people on the local level get elected throughout the country. We seen on election day, we celebrated and talked about and highlighted different folks. Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, a lot of different states. So black folks did get elected. The question is now, do you have the same energy for politics as you had in 2021, as you got in 2020 and 2020? And for a lot of folks, they don't even give a damn no more. We more worried about certified lover boy and Donna than we is worried about anything that Joe Biden is doing. And that's just being real. We more worried about goddamn a crate challenge than we worried about anything that's going on Capitol Hill. Being real, outside of goddamn January 6th, a lot of folks ain't been worried about what's going on in Capitol Hill. I found that being an issue. You feel me? And I think that's what I mean by keeping the energy. I feel like it's to me, it's undeniable that police brutality or the prison industrial complex being a part of the major platforms as presidents, that's because Black folks made ourselves visible in terms of, hey, we getting tired of being shot, and we getting tired of y'all telling us shit when it's time for election time and y'all don't deliver. I think right now it's like, hey, how long has Biden been in office? So do we now go back to the Lift Your Voice and Sing plan? He made like 13 to 18 different promises. Well, shit, how many of these promises you delivered on? Where are you on the process of delivering these things? You said you're gonna do something in education and healthcare and the economy. Goddamn, you said a lot of shit.
But you realize he got out. He got out with the pandemic and with Afghanistan. Like, those are also reasons why he hasn't been working on that agenda, because he ain't had no peace since he got up in there. At least that's gonna be the justification for it if ever asked. So it's a sticky situation, even when we go to ask questions.
So I mean, I'll say this is the last thing I'll say to this, and then we can get into we can get to ask the chop. I would actually answer your question, George, when you say what was the opportunity that was missed. The opportunity to keep that same energy, because if we both agree that it's that is not that, I told y'all I beat that nigga.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's the terminology I use. Like, yeah. And we keep it. Do we miss opportunity? Nah, but we keep it the same energy that we had for the opportunity that we didn't make. No, we ain't keeping that same energy. Like, we ain't keeping the same energy.
This man just tried to act like,
and that's how y'all, and that's how you beat. And that's how you beat consciously in the debate.
Wow.
He didn't pull one of them Joe Patrick 1776 moves. Goddamn, some shenanigans. Like, I'm gonna say what he said, but I'm gonna reword it. And so this is how you.
Nigga, all you did was agree with me, because I said that like we had the conversation before. Like, what happened to the dialogue? Right? It's not there. So the missed opportunity was to keep that same energy. Appreciate you, Conscious Lee. Let's go ahead and get into that.
All right.
Let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Toya.
Before we transition into this last segment, Ask the Chop, we got a new segment coming up for y'all. And it's called Black People Don't, right? And we actually need y'all help for this. So we need y'all in the DMs for Black People Don't. The idea for the new segment is we want to talk to people who are including y'all, right? Who are in areas of life, fields, work industries that are very non-Black, right? Maybe you're the only person doing this thing. Maybe it's a unique thing or a thing that we've heard of, but we don't see a lot of Black people doing. We want to start having conversations with you about what you do, so that way we can dispel that myth. Because really, it's a myth, right? It's not really about what Black people don't do. It's about making sure we know what Black people are out there doing. So if you feel like you are, working in the industry, living in a world, in a space that is not a lot of people like you, we want to talk to you. Potentially, we might end up having you as a guest on the show. So jump in the DMs, talk to us a little bit about what you do. Next week, my goal is to have a loyal listener, and also he has a podcast of his own that he let me be a guest on called We Gotta Hang Out. But Christopher Strickland, who is often in the comments, also goes by Creek.
Shout out to the homie.
Is definitely a huge supporter of the show, but is a cyclist, is a photographer, is a photographizing cyclist, and does a lot of amazing things that I want to get into, particularly in terms of, what he sees. I'm talking about long, heavy miles, 50, 75 mile, hundreds mile rides. And so I want to get into cycling and kind of how he got there and kind of connect some dice on that and just really talk about Black people in the cycling community and what that starts to look like. But that's a great example, right, of what we're looking for. So make sure y'all plug into Black People Don't. Okay, that's the new segment coming up. But let's go ahead and jump into Ask the Chop Up, and we're going to do it Toya style today. So I got a timer because we got a lot of stuff we want to get to. We ain't got all day. As debaters, we never leave without a timepiece. So I'm putting 5 minutes on the clock. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock. I'm going to get my battery turned around. Put 5 minutes on the clock, and we're going to talk through each topic for about 5 minutes. Everybody ain't got time to say something about something, but we want y'all in the comments talking to each other. We want to be talking to y'all, but I'm putting 5 minutes on the clock. First thing we're going to talk about is this Lil Nas X pregnancy cover. What's y'all's take on everybody's general response to Lil Nas X back in the news? He's pregnant on the cover of, I think it was a magazine, but he also just been posting hella pictures. Talk about the pregnancy go.
Man, for me, off the rip, I got two reasons why I think everybody is full of shit when it comes to the Lil Nas X and being this pregnancy thing. The first thing I'm a forefront is a lot of us been talking about the autonomy and the identity of trans people, and a lot of folks I feel like have not been thinking about the insensitivity that Lil Nas X committed with fronting and faking like he's pregnant in terms of how it's trans men out here that really get pregnant. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
In the conversation about pregnancy in terms of trans men getting pregnant, the way that Lil Nas X was able to do it, I think that it kind of adds a lot of pathology and adds a lot of obliteration to that conversation. The second thing I'll say is it's been a lot of folks saying Lil Nas X doing this for the kids and Lil Nas X doing that for the kids, but in terms of him being pregnant. Well, me being on social media, I just happened to come across a goddamn Bill Cosby episode of Bill Cosby acting in front like goddamn pregnant in the episode. Now, I don't remember nobody being outraged about the kids and this, that, and the other because it was seen as what? A joke. You feel me? So I think that everybody full of shit that they flush down toilets. That's all I'll say on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of them things where the whole troll. I mean, I get the trolling straight people shit. Like it's easy to trigger heteronormative, you know what I'm saying, mainstream motherfuckers. Like they real sensitive, you feel me? To be so damn intolerant, they sensitive as fuck, you feel me? So I get that. But I do think it's a level to where it's like, all right, bro, like, because when it comes to pregnancy, it's one of them things that are considered, you know what I mean, sacred to women, you know what I mean? And I want to be clear what I'm saying in terms of, like, you know, like you said, like trans men that are able to get pregnant and, you know what I'm saying, and that type of shit. But if we know that that's not what he is, you know what I'm saying, like I mean, so it's like for me, I feel like I don't know. It's one of them things where it's like I you know, the troll I get, but I mean, how far, you know what I mean, does that go, right? Does it just now I'm doing this thing that women do that I know you're not gonna like look at it. You feel me? I mean, if there was some art or something that was in it, I missed it. You feel me?
Yeah,
like I didn't see the art. Yeah.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that because everybody missed the point of what this man said because they saw a man who was pregnant and got confused. If you read any caption that he's posted, he has been talking about the fact that he is birthing a new album. That he's about to make an album and create it. So he's pregnant with a new project. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it, but we learned about metaphors, similes, all those types of things in 9th grade English. So my biggest criticism is not of the campaign, because you can like it or not. And if you don't like stuff, you have the option of scrolling past it, but you can just scroll past it without developing feelings about the way he decided to deliver a message about making an album. The other reason why this troll is so epic is that you also have to recognize it for what it is. You would see if any other little sibling, little cousin of yours came in on some weird shit and did the same thing every day, you would get used to the joke by now, and it wouldn't be funny no more. It'd be starting, okay, all right, I get it, go away, got it, you understand the joke. But for some reason, when Lil Nas X does stuff, people get re-mad all over again without recognizing that he's doing this shit to troll you because you got mad the last time. So he's thinking of new ways to piss you off. The big question that parents been asking, especially a lot of men, how do I explain this to my son? Nigga, if you don't figure out how to go tell your son that this is
that it's not real, like
it's a manipulated picture, like you can't, you can't tell a kid in 2021 that they use the computer to make some funny stuff with Lil Nas X's stomach. And so in the last 60 seconds, what I just want to get to is the fact that his troll is being used for good and not evil, which is why I don't care about any criticism about it. Today, earlier this morning, he posted his most recent pregnancy pictures with a link that gives you the opportunity to donate to his baby registry, which is a link to a shit ton of charities that you can actually donate to. So with him doing his trolling, he's actually doing more good than bad because he is connecting people to various missions that serve pregnant people, serve women, serve people who are able to birth to or are able to have children. He literally out here doing the mobilizing that half the niggas criticizing him is not doing. So my hat goes
Spare me that. Spare me that last 20 seconds.
Go.
All right. So with that being said, now that I've been more informed, I have a more informed opinion, and just on the level of like the metaphor, it's a dad joke. It's a dad joke. On the level of metaphor, it is a dad joke. Okay.
And that's fine.
I'm birthing a new album. I'm dropping. No. I get it, right? No, yeah, right. And that's what I'm saying. I get the troll part. But when you, like you said, on the level of metaphor,
it's a dad joke.
It's a dad joke. Yeah.
It's not a good one. Fair enough. All right. respect that opinion on it. The question that we asked, Pinky Promise Life, I think asked earlier, is the stimulus check increasing the economy, or do you think?
No. Before that. R. Kelly on Drake album.
It's not there. I didn't know.
Okay. I thought we was going in order. But okay.
I wrote them all down in the order that I wrote. We're going to talk for 5 minutes, real quick, about the economy. The question that was asked was, are stimulus checks increasing the economy, or are they increasing unemployment? Go.
I think they're doing more to, like, if we saying either or, I think they're doing more to increase the economy than they are to actually like increase unemployment. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, a lot they actually just now finding out how extensive the fraud was in terms of the amount of unemployment money that was paid out, right? So we sit up, this idea that you got all of these people that just sitting here collecting unemployment, not trying to work. It's like, nah, it's motherfuckers whose job is to scam you, and unemployment is one of the scams that's working for them right now. You know what I mean? We skews a lot of these unemployment numbers when we like, okay, this much unemployment money was doled out, because like y'all not saying, well, like if you can send $1 billion in unemployment money to scam artists, y'all not parsing through to be able to be like, okay, with this amount of the money went to scam artists, possibly this amount went to people who was actually, you know what I'm saying? So, I think this, and the last thing I'll say is that the whole idea that unemployment is being used to keep people from working is a Republican myth that's typically deployed at times when, you shaming poor people.
Right on.
Man, I think that I feel like a part of me almost want to feel like even the posing of this question to me kind of like feel like a false dichotomy. You feel me? Like, hold on now, what are you saying? These two things ain't just positioned like that. How you posing it like that? But on some debate shit though, like how Damo put though, if I gotta go one way or the other, I definitely would say the stimulus checks stimulated the economy more than it pushed unemployment, because I recognize how much people spent those unemployment checks and we recognize and we see that there were literally a culmination of new millionaires and new billionaires that was created during the quarantine, that was created during COVID-19 social distance. So I feel like that right there show you how the economy got stimulated, because of how many folks was able to get in new wealth based off of the economy being stimulated.
Yeah. Big facts. Shout out to Jonathan Warren. Right, we said education is elevation. Definitely showing love right there. We appreciate it. Baby Oko asked a question. Can you keep submitting questions? Absolutely. We're taking them 5 minutes at a time, and we're gonna get out of here in probably about another 15 to 20 or so. So keep them coming in as long as you got them. My take on the increase in the stimulus checks and whether or not they're increasing the economy, I think that they are definitely increasing the economy in more meaningful ways than opening up these low-level jobs. The thing is, the jobs have been back open, right? People have had the opportunity, but they're not going back to those low-paying jobs no more because they've recognized their worth. The pandemic then showed people that they've been overworked and underpaid. And when you start showing people what can really be cranked out, you're not going to get them to come back to fast food for minimum wage. So a larger conversation has to be had. And I think while that conversation is being had and people figuring out their shit, these people been getting they stimulus checks, they've been getting their unemployment checks, and they've been living their life and paying and participating and starting businesses and stuff like that. But I think it's a whole lot better than creating a world where you take away those stimulus checks or the unemployment checks, which federally ended today, and in a whole lot of other states, I think, too. And now you have a situation where people are about to have to go back into industries that they don't feel valued in and not get paid for what they are worth. And the economy is in shambles. Shit is more expensive right now.
And still have to deal with COVID.
And still have to deal with COVID, or you're going to have people who decide to stay unemployed and don't return to those jobs and decide to thug it out because they don't want to deal with that bullshit. But either way it goes, I think for the most part, unemployment stimulated the economy in ways that it needed to be stimulated and help people in ways that they ain't ever going to see from their government in their lifetime, especially since Social Security is going bye-bye. Okay? So that's the clock on that. Yes. Oh no, not yes. I already talked to Baby Oka. We got your question about the Balenciaga fold sagging pants. We're gonna talk about that in a minute too. Also, I haven't been. I know George has been keeping up a whole lot more on this Julius Jones case because it's happening in Oklahoma, I believe. So, George, if you got anything about Julius Jones in terms of updates, anything going around there, you got anything you want to drop?
We should be having a chop coming up on him, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm reaching out to his sister, trying to get his sister on the show, or at least get somebody a part of the Justice for Julius Jones Foundation to come on to the show. The last update, man, is that they pushed his clemency hearing back and made it where he's supposed to have a some type of a hearing last week. It got pushed back to this clemency hearing. It's bad news because it means that if he gets denied the clemency, he'll be executed 2 weeks later. That's pretty much, you feel me, the update in terms of the new shit that's going down with that. You know what I'm saying?
So we're gonna have more for that. We're gonna have a whole chat for that. So stay tuned. We're gonna get into that for sure.
Absolutely. The plug has been steering me toward this conversation all night, and I definitely had high intentions on getting to it even before the show started. So we want to know about this R. Kelly situation. R. Kelly gets credits on it's called? College TSU is the name of the song on CLB. And so it's already a song about college girls, but apparently in I think 40, who is a part of OVO 50, Drake's longtime producer, said, listen, this is how the business go. There's some beat or something that he get writing credits on, but it's like he didn't participate in the making of the album. He didn't influence it. He wasn't a part of the artistic vision for nothing. He just made some stuff a long time ago that they use now. But knowing what we know about R. Kelly, especially recently, if y'all haven't been following this trial, it's wild in terms of the testimonies that are coming out. Do y'all feel like it's fair or foul? Is the way the business works, or do you think it should have been unacceptable for R. Kelly to be given any credit on this Drake album? 5 minutes left.
I mean, it's a time and place for everything. Drake is the #1 artist in the world. There's no reason why they had to use whatever sound they had to use to give R. Kelly the credit. I think that it's I feel like just on some weird shit. But though Drake album is called the Toxic Masculinity Meets whatever. But I feel like he didn't need to do it though. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, he don't need to do it. Like, you ain't a starving artist that has to use some trendy sound, a trendy, you feel me? Like, you ain't gotta do that shit. We can listen to the album anyway. And you ain't gotta do the TSU song was supposed to be a credit to him trying to shout out Houston, my nigga. You ain't have to go half on the baby R. Kelly. All right, well, listen to the song. I don't even get how he sampled in it, but whatever.
I mean, and I think that's kind of what 40 is trying to allude to, that it's really just the sound. You feel me? Like, there's a sound that, because of the way that, like you said, the way that the industry works, if you want to utilize that sound, you gotta credit the artist, you feel me, that had something to do with that sound. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think this is I do think this is a gray area for that. I don't think it's as blatant like R. Kelly lyrics, you know what I'm saying? Like an entire R. Kelly voice being sampled, that type of shit. I think at that point, that's when it's like, nah, bro, like we don't want to hear that nigga. Like, we don't want the energy, the sonically, we don't want that pedophile energy in our fucking ear. You feel me? But when it just come down to, you know what I mean, some horns or some drums, you know what I mean, or you feel me, like something, like just something that would complement, like something sonically outside of like R. Kelly singing, you feel me, that could complement another song. I do think that's a gray area to where it's like, I mean, he gonna get the credit, but it's not, you don't, he like you said, he doesn't come out in R. Kelly don't come out in the song.
He don't come out in the artist. I know Toy got his time on our ass. But the last thing I'll say I'm just keeping in mind. Hey, listen, I feel like my debate mind going in that seeing that damn timer. It's kicking me back in. I gotta get this out real fast. But I know that in terms of thinking about how business works and operates, we know that R. Kelly was just talking about his lack of money, you feel me, and how he's getting depleted. Drake just dropped the #1 album in the world. So from a business standpoint, he gets album credit, writing credits. How much money is we fueling into this predator by listening to the goddamn track and making it where he now has better legal fees? Well, making that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man,
it's a scary thought. A lot of great comments coming in. The one thing that I thought about, because I've been going back and forth about this myself, which is why I want to talk about it. Because on one side, the business is the business, right? We even had a long ago. It's been a couple of years now. We talked about separating the art from the artist, and I'm sure we talked about R. Kelly, we talked about Michael Jackson, we talked about a couple different people, and the difficulty we have. In Dark Side Network, Reloaded said, I think R. Kelly's music is separate from his criminal charges and should not be related, and that's how a lot of people feel. But we know also the other side of that is that the very voice, the very presence of a predator can trigger trauma. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even have to have directly experienced that person's trauma, but just seeing them being legitimized in public kind of could trigger and traumatize you in terms of your own abuser being legitimized and accepted in public. So it's a tangled web being woven. I will say in the last minute and 19 seconds, the reason why I don't think it's cool, and the reason why I'm gonna go ahead and side with it being hella problematic is very simple.
With George,
people with money and power. Shut up, Dominic. People with money, because I love you, but people with money and power sit around and talk about liability. They talk about hits. They talk about the problems that could come. They get paid to foresee and foresight things. And I think the thing that bothers me the most is that people was like, oh, R. Kelly, the sound. But the sound is so important. The sound is so good. And somebody was like, they're going to hate you for this. And somebody with power, if it was Drake, if it was producers or whatever, was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a certain level of audacity and carelessness to just be like, yeah, gonna be mad, or you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of consciousness that goes into this decision making is what bothers me the most. Is because I know that they thought about this. It wasn't by happenstance. It wasn't an uncalculated move. It was something somebody did and was just like, I'm gonna just take that on the chin and take that L and don't really care that I justified, an abuser and somebody who's just in real time having all of his shortcomings be laid out before everybody. I think that's the messed up part of it.
So the last thing I'll say, because and not necessarily, that's why I said this is it's a gray area, so y'all not necessarily wrong. But in the creation of these sounds though, there are more people involved, and there is another side to that, to where you got producers and engineers and other people who's contributed to that music, who their sound, somebody else to be like, damn, I want what came from that engineer, that producer, but since it's attached to an R. Kelly song, I gotta go through like R. Kelly is ultimately attached to it. You feel me? So that's the last. I mean, I guess that's the last little part that's like ain't really included in the conversation, but I don't think it supersedes the trigger conversation or any of that. But yeah.
There we asked to chop up. There it is. All right, next topic. The faux Balenciaga saggy pants. Y'all seen these?
Nah, I ain't seen that shit.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, Baby Oku dropped the topic.
Let me.
But there are, if y'all want to Google it real quick, Balenciaga has released some pants that are some boxers, about 2 inches worth of boxer material, and then sweatpants. Like gray jogger sweatpants.
Like literally sweatpants.
Huh?
Like literal sweatpants.
Yeah, it's boxer top. Like the top is made so that it looks like you're sagging a little bit, and then the sweatpants start, and then they are just regular sweatpants from on out to give the illusion that you're sagging, right? And so I guess that's kind of the style that Balenciaga has gathered from urban culture, which they continue to pillage off of, but now it's widely available, and this is a high dollar, designer who is taking that particular style. As young men, as brothers.
Hold up.
As brothers of mine, I don't sag my pants, and I'm not a part of a demographic that typically does, but I know you all have friends. I don't know what you do, but I know you have friends. I know you know people who show their booties. How do you feel about this fashion move?
Let me share my screen real quick.
I'm about to do it right now and share, but you beat me to it. I gotta do it.
Yeah, I found it. This they $1,100. They $1,200, y'all.
$1,200, and they show you drawers a little bit, and there's a little dip in them. You know, I wasn't lying with the description. And then, of course, I got the little white man modeling them. What thoughts, feelings, perspective?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Are we surprised?
Oh my God. Toya, this is why I hate high fashion.
Yeah.
This is why I hate what Kanye devolved into. And people fight back with me on this, right? People come at me like people look at me crazy for feeling like this. But this is high fashion is the damn devil. Like, look at what they do. They make some fake sagging pants and then go ahead.
No, Khalid is agreeing. My bad. I look at those pants and feel like Balenciaga is trying to call me a porch monkey. That just it. I don't disagree. Look what they did.
And the white man modeling them. But like you can't get no. It's like, bro.
Shirt tucked in.
Listen.
I noticed
Who the fuck grown still tucking their shirt into their drawers though, dog? Like, what grown man? How you paying $1,200 to tuck your shirt into your drawers? That's not really your drawers. That's really your pants, but they look like your drawers. So technically, you tuck your shirt into your drawers, even though you got some drawers on top of some drawers. This shit's stupid, bro.
ridiculous. We didn't really, I guess, you know, in a minute and 53 seconds, we don't even need the rest of the time because y'all see how we obviously feel about it. The goal for that is just to make sure we are sharing the same information. We need y'all to know that this dumb shit exists. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Baby Oku for making sure that it's on our radar that they really out here playing games with us at Balenciaga. You know,
I'm sorry. This is so funny though. This is so funny.
It's bad.
I'm stop being childish. I'm stop being childish, man. That's just funny though. Like y'all, my only 2 cents is I know Balenciaga is not an American company. You know what I'm saying? But I recognize how African American culture uniquely shaped that trend specifically. Think about all the states that have legislation that would criminalize your black ass for sagging your pants. Like literally, you get a ticket for sagging your pants. And Balenciaga selling $1,200 sweats with drawers. My grandfather right now, the idea that he's turning his grave. Like, boy, these motherfuckers. Now I'm doing looking. Now I gotta put this
pants,
on YouTube, but it's all good.
Pants on the ground. Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.
With your hat turned sideways.
Come on, man. It was a song, damn it. It's wild.
Oh shit! Hey, but I think that's we laughing. But think about let's think about the reality of what you know George just pointed out. They making millions off of exactly what niggas get criminalized for. You ain't gotta at this point. You ain't gotta make shit up. Like just point out, hey, this is a real fact of life, and then just go about your business. So.
Yeah, hey, give a whole nother meaning to Ra. What that was that Reek with the double law said high fashion like yo G man, like this the whole other, really Roddy Ricch is his name. Roddy.
I mean, but that's what happens. What happens when you get these rappers and you get these people with a lot of money and credibility and a third beauty talking about supporting black brands, you know what I'm saying? But we get on there and shout out everybody else's names. And so people just go buy shit just because you said the name of them. People didn't know nothing about no Go Yard. People didn't know nothing about Mason Margiela until damn Jay-Z started hollering. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many examples of all of this stuff that we see just because they go hollering their name. So we got to make better decisions with our unemployment checks is what it sounds like based on the conversation we've been having. Let's slide out of this. We talked about Ask the Chop Up. We talked about CLB versus Donda. We talked about missed opportunities on the political spectrum. Make sure y'all run these conversations back. Make sure y'all sharing the show. You like it and subscribing so you don't ever miss a conversation. Just in case we hit a pivot on y'all and don't go Monday, go on Tuesday. You don't gotta miss it. Just get a little alert. Hit the bell, hit the follow, hit the subscribe, whatever you need to do. We got these new segments trying to pop this fall. Okay, so I need y'all locked in. Black people don't. We need y'all with submissions. We need y'all tapping in. We need y'all just to listen to these segments, make sure they popping in things like that. We also want to do Fly Music Friday. I want music back on my show, but we can't do it unless y'all send submissions. So stop forgetting. Tag your homies. Tell your people to send music for Fly Music Friday so we can get some people on there and get some shit cracking. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Just search for The Chop Up Show. You'll find us at The Chop Up Show Pod, Chop Up The Chop Up Show, all of that. Just look for us. You get everything that is connected to us. Brothers, anything before we go?
Hey, don't forget tomorrow, Conscious Conversations, Consciously page, Consciously YouTube, Conscious Conversations. If you want that, and I'm telling y'all, do not be scared to hit that link. You know what I'm saying? George is like, you know how them dogs be when they be behind the gate and they be. George is one of them dogs, and when you open the gate, he gonna back off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna jump. He ain't gonna bite you.
You figure out first. You figure out what's going on first. Wow, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He a cool nigga. So man, y'all come hot, like come hit the panel, have some conversations, send the music to what's the Gmail? Chop Up Show email
at gmail.com. The Chop Up Show email at gmail.com. The Chop Up Show email at gmail.com, or DM us and give us the links to wherever you need us to go. The Chop Up Show email at gmail.com.
Hey Lex, if you want that consciously work, like I said, pull up tomorrow, Conscious Conversations on the Consciously channel, 9:30 p.m. Central. But yeah, man, so that was it. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at The Political Plug everywhere where you be scrolling on your phone all day when you ain't got nothing else to do. Toya,
what's up? What you want?
Social media, baby. The social media, girl.
Oh,
social media.
I'm sorry. At the Chop. I'm sorry. I was reading comments, keeping up with.
No, yo, social media. She said at the chop. She said at the Chop Up Show.
Whatever you do. Making sure that we good to go, because I see Kevin Madero's like, I got class on Mondays. Can you move it to Tuesday? We love you, but we on Mondays, baby. Until we can't do it on Monday, then we'll catch you on a Tuesday. But we love you. But we locked in. So make sure we good to go.
Yeah. And then George. Yeah, we on George now.
Yeah, hey,
y'all know him.
On all social media platforms, man.
Fuck, I'm talking about
on all social media platforms. If you get on a social media platform and you type in the Consciously and I ain't on there, let me know. I have to go over there.
Yeah, y'all know what it is.
Third
so
BD, I'm gonna check it out. Third BD, I'm gonna check the DMs. I see you sent some folks. I must have missed it, but I'm gonna go ahead and tap back into it. I got you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I cooked you, Lex. Stop playing with me. Y'all holla at Solar Vision Debate League if y'all want to see some underground, you know what I mean, street debates, shit like that. But for real, if y'all want to see some interesting debates, Solar Vision Debate League on YouTube, season 4 just started, so y'all check that out as well. But with that being said, you know what I'm saying, we got to get to our evenings, man. We love spending the evening with y'all, but now it's time. Move on. Y'all have a great evening, and we will see y'all next week. Well, tomorrow and next week. Y'all know how it go. We're gonna end the show the same way that we start the show. We out.
Me, my guys, we really live. Lord, forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside. And that's in the console. Keep the semi when I ride. Let off Henny when I drive. In the city,